By now, you may or may not have heard about the Jay Jones controversy. And who is Jay Jones? Jay Jones is running for Attorney General of Virginia. And he was recently busted where some text messages that he sent out in 2022 have been exposed, because in the text messages, he was wishing upon the death of one of his political opponents named Todd Gilbert. He even said that he wanted Todd Gilbert's two sons to pass away in the arms of his wife, Jennifer Gilbert. Then he also said that he wanted police officers to be harmed and for their lives to be taken, because then if their lives were taken, they wouldn't be so quick with what they're doing with immigration and law enforcement. Now, these type of radical views coming out of Virginia have created a whirlwind of controversy going on behind the governor race right now, because the governor, Spanberger, she endorses Jay Jones for Attorney General, even after these text messages have come out, which is causing people to really challenge and question her judgment. Now, all of this came out on the heels of the governor debate. Now, there's a run for governor of Virginia going on, of course, but there was a debate that took place on Thursday night. And I got to say, boy, the fireworks were going, because Spanberger's opponent is Winsome Earle-Sears. Now, you may or may not be familiar with who Winsome Sears is, but I'll introduce you to her just so you do know. This here is Winsome Sears. Winsome Sears is the African-American woman over here holding. You may say, well, why is she holding a gun? In case you don't know, I'll tell you. And this here is Spanberger during COVID, wearing a plastic bag on her head that has some type of an oxygen contraption. These are not AI. These are real. And as you can see, it says, you see the Spanberger pic all the time on RWVA Twitter as proof of her being a Blovid ninny, but it's from J6. People just crop out the background. One of these women was a Marine defending our liberties. The other put a translucent trans bag on her head because she was afraid of getting sick. A little bit more about Winsome Sears really quick. Winsome Sears is she's a Marine Corps veteran, serving as the 42nd Lieutenant Governor. She's been Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. She's also a member of the Republican Party. And her parents are immigrants who came here and did it the right way in the 70s. So this isn't some politician. She is a former Marine, a United States Marine Corps veteran running for governor, who has already served as lieutenant governor under Glenn Youngkin. But this doggone debate got crazy. So I'm going to bring you some of the highlights of the debate just to show you how deranged these left-wing Democrats are. Now, in this clip, it's a few minutes, but it's important that you watch it because it has a couple of segments in it. Rather than me give chopped up videos, these few minutes really encompass the meat and potatoes of the debate and just why the Republicans and Democrats of Virginia should turn away from Spanberger and should never give this woman their vote. When you hear what she stands for and what she refuses to denounce, you'll understand. And when I say understand, to understand something means it's over your head. To understand something means you have full comprehension, you're on top of it. So I have a full understanding of who Spanberger is and what she really stands for. This debate exposes it all. And Winsome Sears was not playing around. She was very aggressive in it because you know how the lamestream left-wing media is. If she would have played all polite and yada yada and would have let Spanberger talk over her, they would have said, oh, Spanberger dominated her. But of course, since Winsome Sears went on the offensive, they say, oh, she was so unprofessional. Oh, that was beneath her. No, she's playing politics the way it's played today. If you're not aggressive, if you're not letting your base know that you are here to fight for them, you will lose. Look at what's happening with the Democrats right now. So let me get off into this clip and let you hear this.
Thanks, Tom. Our next question is about the temperature and tone of political speech. The first example has been shaping the race for governor and attorney general for the past week. You both will have a chance for rebuttal. Democratic Attorney General nominee Jay Jones admits he sent text messages to a colleague referencing former Republican House Speaker Todd Gilbert. Here's what he wrote.
Jones. 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. Colleague. Jay, please stop. Jones. LOL, okay. I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. Colleague. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. Jones. Yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy.
Jay Jones has apologized and says he takes full responsibility for those messages. Ms. Spanberger, you have called the comments disgusting and said you condemn violence. The question for you tonight is, were you aware of these messages before they were released publicly, and will you continue to endorse Jay Jones as the next Attorney General of Virginia? You have 60 seconds.
The comments that Jay Jones made are absolutely abhorrent. I denounced them when I learned of them, and I will denounce them every opportunity I get. As a mother, as a public servant, as a candidate for governor, I denounce them. And it is important that candidates always denounce violence on no matter which side of the aisle. Violence, violent rhetoric, we should always be focused and forceful in our denouncement of it.
Are you going to tell him
and
to get
importantly, my opponent, unfortunately, only denounces violence when her side is the target.
Don't
I
lie
hope
like that,
into
Abigail.
the future, she will endeavor to denounce violent rhetoric and violence no matter who the victim. And tonight, Lieutenant Governor Earle-Sears, I will say, you routinely referred to me as your enemy.
Just please
You
give her a chance to
routinely
respond.
refer to me as your enemy. I'm not your enemy. You are not my enemy. We are political opponents, and tonight voters are here to listen to the policy differences that we have. So as we move forward, we must continue to set a good example for all of our children.
If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, because I will never ask you for a cash app, never ask you for a super chat. But you hitting that like button, it does help spread the video out. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And whether you already subscribed or subscribing now, make sure that you hit the notification bell and you select all. YouTube has issues on notifications, but when you select all, YouTube will make sure that you get notified when I upload new videos.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger. I didn't hear an answer there on the endorsement issue, so I want to just make sure. Will you continue to endorse Jay Jones to be the next Attorney General of Virginia? And were you aware of these text messages before they released? You have 30 seconds.
Now, you see how she tried to sidestep, and that's what Democrats do. She wants to act like, oh, I'm not the enemy. I'm not your enemy. You're just my. We know that Democrats see Republicans as the enemy. We just see them as political opponents. Republicans have never called for anybody to get their life taken or for their children to be murdered in the arms of their mother. These are only ugly, nasty things that Democrats do. But what she did, she tried to pivot. She pivoted to act like I'm going to take this moral high road. You're not my enemy. I'm not yours. We're just opponents. While sidestepping the question, which is, do you endorse him? And I'm so happy that this moderator did not do what most moderators do and let this Democrat sidestep the question and do all of this grandstanding and then would have went on to Winsome Earle-Sears. That's not cool. So let's hear how she responds.
In fact, it appears that it was those who released the text messages and held them for years. So the public was unaware who had knowledge of these text messages for many years.
What did you do about
I learned of these text messages the day that they came out, and I denounced them as soon as I learned of them.
She denounces murder.
And importantly, at this point, as we move forward, the voters now have this information that was withheld for them,
You're running to be
presumably for
Ms.
political
Earle-Sears,
reasons. But the voters now have the information, and it is up to voters to make an individual choice based on this information.
Ms. Spanberger, I understand what you're saying about the voters, but for you yourself, do you still continue to endorse Jay Jones? 15 seconds, yes or no?
We are all running our individual races. I believe my opponent has said that about her lieutenant governor nominee.
Ms. Earle-Sears,
And it's up to every person to make their own decision. I am running my race to serve Virginia, and that is what I intend to do.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger. We just want to clarify, what you're saying is that as of now, you still endorse Jay Jones as Attorney General.
I'm saying as of now, it's up to every voter to make their own individual decision. I am running for governor. I am accountable for the words that I say, for the acts that I take, for the policies that I have put out.
Thank you.
I am responsible for the policies I put out and the work I will endeavor to do tirelessly for the people of Virginia.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger. Ms. Earle-Sears, before we get to rebuttals, because we will get to rebuttals, we have a question for you. While there is
So as you saw, she refused to denounce. She did everything she could to sidestep it. But check out how Winsome Earle-Sears goes back to it. She don't let her get off the hook. Check this clip out.
Well, I think as everybody knows, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian before I'm a Republican, and I'm required to forgive people. And it's hard sometimes when somebody has abused you, etc., but it's something you must do, because not to forgive is almost like if someone said, you drink poison thinking that it's going to affect the other person. And I want to live a decent life, and I don't want to not have peace in my life. And so as I've said before, I would not say that. So that's why I'm wondering, why my opponent won't say beyond its abhorrent and disgusting, why she won't say it is not okay and that he must leave the race because Jay Jones advocated the murder, Abigail, the murder of a man, a former speaker, as well as his children who were 2 and 5 years old. You have little girls. What would it take him pulling the trigger? Is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race, Abigail? You have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail? You're running.
I want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of this video, Chapter. And here's why. When my mom hit 65 years old, I watched her get bombarded with mailers, cold calls, and all these confusing ads about Medicare. And every single company pretended like they wanted to help her, but really they were just trying to sell her stuff. It seemed like the game was rigged and she was not supposed to win at all. And that's why I'm so excited to share information about Chapter with all of you. Now, who Chapter is? Chapter is a free Medicare advisory service that compares Medicare plans available, and they give you real, unbiased guidance. Chapter is completely independent and always puts customers first. Their whole focus is all about making sure that their customers, the seniors, get the right Medicare plan. And it's clear that they're making a real difference in the lives of seniors. So if you want real, unbiased help with Medicare, give Chapter a call at 402-527-1253. You'll talk to a real person who will help you figure out exactly which plan is right for you and has saved the average senior $1,000 a year. So I'm going to put the number here on the screen for you to be able to contact, or if you visit the website, go to askchapter.org/realpolitics. Called her out. And you saw she was getting very uncomfortable. Check this clip out, though, which really encapsulates Spanberger just trying to dodge as much as she could.
This
Ms.
administration.
Spanberger, once again, the question was, should transgender girls who are biological males be allowed to use girls' bathrooms and play on girls' sports teams in K through 12? You have 15 seconds to clarify.
In cases across Virginia, I think it's incumbent upon parents and educators and administrators in each local community to make decisions locally.
Would you rescind the Youngkin administration policy requiring boys and girls to use bathrooms aligning with their biological sex? You have 30 seconds.
My priority would be to ensure that local communities, importantly parents and teachers and educators, are able to work together to meet the unique needs of each school and each community.
But Ms. Spanberger, the question was, would you rescind the Youngkin administration policy requiring boys and girls to use bathrooms aligning with their biological sex? You have 15 seconds to clarify that question.
Yes. And my answer is that in each local community, decisions should be made between parents and educators and teachers in each community. It shouldn't be dictated by politicians.
That is crazy. Now, did you hear? She refused to answer whether she will rescind the current Governor Youngkin's policy, which is biological boys and biological girls must use their gender-specific bathrooms. Whoever's governor has the power to rescind that and allow boys, and you know how young boys can be, boys to go in the bathroom with little girls. So you can have a 12th grader in the bathroom with a kindergartner. No parent wants their children going to school like that. And that's just for the school. What about those who have teenage daughters that are using a restroom at a restaurant or at a public facility? And some 35, 56-year-old man who felt like he was a woman that day and felt like being a woman at that moment, he's allowed to use a woman's bathroom while your granddaughter, while your niece, while your wife, while your sister, while your mother may be in there. I don't know about y'all, but I know if my granddaughter, my daughter, my sisters, or my mother saw a male, and I'm 6'5", 270. If they saw a man my size walk into the bathroom, or a man, period, they would freak out and probably scream and lose their mind. And for somebody like myself or my brothers to run inside that bathroom and see what's going on. And it may not be nice, but these are the types of things we're dealing with these deranged Democrats. But that's not it. Now, in this next clip, it's just going to show you the frustration that is on the face of Spanberger throughout the debate, and just how many times you could just see the frustration on her. And watch her with that notebook. She is tearing that notebook up. Check it out.
Would it take him pulling the trigger? Is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail? You're running to be governor.
Ms. Earle-Sears.
I mean, we're talking about murder. We're talking about someone's life being taken from them. Have you nothing to say about that? Are you not going to address it? Really, you can't go any further. You're a governor. You're supposed to stand up for all the people. Are you saying political murder is all right? Have some political courage. What you have done is you are taking political calculations about your future as governor. Well, as governor, you have to make hard choices, and that means telling Jay Jones to leave the race.
Ooh. So as you saw, Winsome Earle-Sears is not holding any punches back, and Abigail Spanberger just refused to turn away from the 90-10 issues, and really it might be 95-5 issues that Americans care about. Secure borders, family safety. You know, anybody with children, this might be a 99-1 issue. Anybody with children being comfortable with their daughters being in bathrooms with grown men or with men, period. The only 1% that is for it is for those left-wing extremists who account for about 1 to 5%, but they're the loudest, they're the most violent. And most people don't watch these debates and whatnot when they really should. So you tell me what you think about it. Did Winsome Earle-Sears kick butt? Did she win? Or did Abigail Spanberger, based on what you saw, represent herself in more of a gubernatorial type of a way? Or did she just deflect and sidestep? I want to get your opinion on it. Either which way, I just wanted to bring you this information to let you know that the whole Jay Jones controversy is causing far more backlash than anybody probably could have expected. And it's still not as much as it really warrants. So we'll see how it goes. But if you stayed and watched this, I really do appreciate it. I want to thank you from the top and bottom of my heart. As always, if you haven't already, hit the like button. And if you aren't subscribed, subscribe. Most importantly, I want you to stay safe and you be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.